An original MCM production.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? In the meantime, right I saw 3 people that got hired on the spot.
We're here today wanting to be a part of America Works and this great event they've put together.
Right.
And I really appreciate the fact that Home Depot's here because I go to Home Depot all the time. So, so your name is?
My name is AJ TRAYLOR. Well, I'm a kitchen designer, I'm an appliance salesperson, I'm a team recruiter. I do all the job fairs, I do all the community work. So there's a lot of different positions that I hold.
Well, you know, Home Depot is so important in our area because we don't have a lot of hardware stores.
Right.
I mean, and if people think about it, looking for a hardware store, where do you find them? You know, so Home Depot is an area almost like a hospital.
Right, it's one of the best in the community from what I see, you know, as far as what we do and try to educate.
I see a lot of young men and women there that are very courteous and know the products. That's what's important to me. So how do you train them in terms of products?
Well, no matter what field that they come in, we train you for any department there. So you will be able to tell the customer what they need to know. So it's always on-the-job training all the time. Any new updates or anything like that, we train you for it so that you become a professional.
So have you had a lot of attention at your table today for people looking for jobs?
I believe I had the most attention because I'm down to my last couple slips and it ain't even 12 o'clock yet. But everybody knows how well Home Depot is and they would love to come to work for us. So I do get a lot of attention all the time at all the job events that they have.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Keep up the great work because I love going to Home Depot.
Please come in and come see me. You know.
Okay, thank you. We really appreciate your commitment to the community. So I understand your passion is in terms of helping people. You go beyond the call of duty. You want to share some of that with us?
Well, I have private sessions that I do with America Works that we'll have a class of 30 people and I will show them individual, each one how to go down the application process so we make it easier for them to get hired so they'll know how to look at things in a better way and not to be scared as, you know, all the questions and that you have to go through. So every month I do a different location. So I go to America Works over here on Reservoir, or I go on Florence and Tatonia and different other events throughout the whole city, just to try to help everybody in the community get a job. Because
yeah, right. And you know, what you're talking about is that fear of something new. But it's something that we talk about all the time because we talk about our name, our address, you know, I have the ability to do this, that, and the other, or they say what we've done. So you help them to coordinate all that.
Right, to gather all that information because a lot of different things now are on the computer. It's not always on paper. So once a lot of people who never got on a computer going to be kind of nervous about doing it and think that they can't do it and finish. So I'm there to help them get to that point where they will be able to finish that application.
And you know, that is fantastic because there's so many fears, but as people overcome their fears, they become more confident. Right. Thank you so much again for helping, sharing your talents. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
I'm the director of the program, and it's not just me. A lot of components came into pulling this together, and a lot of people involved, including Milwaukee's favorite son here, right? So this isn't the Carlisle Oughton affair by a stretch, okay? But we are very serious, and you know, because I've walked you around and already tried to hook you up, but we're very serious about the one thing we do that we do very well, which is get people employed. So we're here for you. All you got to do is make it to in here like you are now and take advantage of what it is we have to offer. That's all this is about. You do that, you do you, we do us, and it will work out for you. Okay? Is that clear? Does everybody understand? Okay, because, you know, this is where it starts. You got to get a job, and then you build. Okay? Great.
We got an individual that was born and raised from here. His name is Rico Love. This man just poured into these young men like you would not believe. His wisdom, his knowledge, his love. He just showed that he cared. You know, and a lot of times when people get to a certain plateau or success in life, they don't give back. I mean, this brother came, and when I talk about, I'm a pastor, I'm 40 years old, and he poured into me, pouring into these youths, and I'm going to take it and pour back into my congregation. Unbelievable. So he deserves our support. And it's funny because he's not on camera because it wasn't about being on camera, things that he didn't want any recognition. And I told you, I want to come on camera and say something about this incredible young man. He's doing a great job. I'm very supportive of him. And this is great what America Works is doing. And I'm just glad I can be a part of it.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You know what? I just got so much respect for Brother Rico Love because he didn't want to be on camera because he's not one of the people that say, you know, I want to be seen, I want to do this. It was just something out of his heart that he wanted to give. And what he did, he spoke to the young people in just realistic terms about taking accountability, about understanding how special you are, about self-empowerment, about putting yourself in places that know you can succeed. And like I said, he didn't want to be in front of camera because he didn't want to seem like it was like some type of publicity stunt. He just talked about the realness, talking to the young men on their levels in a way in which they can understand, but also challenging them to be even better than what some of the things they've seen. And then once they become successful, to reach back out into the community and help those that's coming up after them. So it was a special session, and it's like it wasn't anything pretentious about it. It was just all real and all love. One of the things as a psychologist, it's about the study of the mind. And so when we think about what happens to us at a young age, we sometimes have these emotional traumas, these emotional hits. And people don't see them because they're like these invisible hits, but they have some realistic manifestations of behavior. And most of the time, those behaviors are negative, and we're punished for those behaviors instead of getting help. And so what we're trying to do now with the community is to inform employers on how to deal with young men, young women who have the great heart, but maybe there's some science in the brain that needs to be evaluated so we don't just punish the behavior, but give them the proper help. And not saying not hold people accountable, but to understand and truly giving them that second chance to succeed. And the beauty is so many gifts, so many different ways people exude their talents that they have. And what we have to do is be challenging, have to challenge ourselves to find how a person is intelligent. There's more than one way to be intelligent. Find their gifts and then put people in the proper places to succeed.
Good morning. I'm NAFESSA Jackson with ManpowerGroup. I'm the community investment leader here at ManpowerGroup, and I'm excited today. We're working with AmericaWorks for the first time in a long time. We're hosting one of the largest job fair events that we've had in a long time. We have well over 70 employers that are here this morning. We also have more than 200 employees, job seekers that have walked through that door. And boy, is it a powerful day. We are offering the state of Wisconsin driver's license recovery. We're doing expungement and background expungements as well as child support expungements. We're also offering free clothing attire to individuals that do not have clothing to wear to interviews. We are also offering resume workshop as well as on-the-spot jobs. So if you have not stopped down here, please come on down. It has been a pleasure working with AmericaWorks, bringing in all these wonderful resources today. We have number of people that have walked out of here with jobs and free attire, and they are very happy. It is a powerful day today here at ManpowerGroup.
My name is Martha Love, and I'm the host of What's Going On, and it's public affairs show on MATA Community Media. And I want you to know you're looking very lovely today. So would you tell me your name, please?
My name is ARTISHA Williams.
Oh, ARTISHA Williams. Are you from Milwaukee?
Yep, born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
So where's your hood?
The northwest side, right off of Capitol, 50th.
Oh, you're in the high hood.
The high hood, well, that's what you want to call it. Yeah.
Well, apparently you've been very successful educationally and also accomplishing or continuing to accomplish some of your dreams. So can you just kind of share with us a little bit what some of your dreams are or some of your accomplishments?
Well, right now I am an undergraduate student at U.W.M. My major is community engagement and education with a minor in child and family services. I am finishing up that degree, my bachelor's degree. I plan on attending graduate school. I don't know where yet, but that is one of my goals. What I really want to do is get into the nonprofit sector and deal with children and families and, you know, their disparities and adversities that they face and just try to help them throughout communities all across the country.
So how do you know Pastor Calhoun?
Well, right now, one of my courses at UWM, they require a service learning project. So I chose the 5 Points mission to do my service learning project with. So we've been meeting for a couple weeks now. He's just been taking me to nonprofit organizations throughout the Milwaukee community. And today, I actually didn't know it was a job fair. He told me to meet him here, and here I am.
Isn't this fantastic?
Yes, I like it. I love it. I like to see so many people here, so many jobs here. It's beautiful.
And you know what I like is they're helping people with clothing. So as you come here to even think about applying for a job, you can look successful. Your application is off. You know, you get help with the application. People tell you what the job is, and people are being hired. So what do you think about that?
I think it's really helpful because finding a job here in the community is really hard. So to have, you know, all these employers here in one spot and everybody had access to them, like up close and personal, is beneficial.
So let's give a big shout out to America Works. America
Works.
Thank you so much. Well, hello, ladies. Hi. And thank you for coming to America Works of Wisconsin. Isn't this a wonderful event? And I love the red. Red is my favorite color, as you can see. My name is Martha Love, and this is my show called What's Going On. And this is with Community Media. So we've seen you all in all your red, and you got a vendor table. And who are you with? And first off, give me your names.
My name is Simona Dawson.
I'm Doris Oglesby. I'm a team trainer with H&K Partners for KFC.
So KFC, what is that? KFC, what is that?
Kentucky Fried Chicken, world's greatest chicken.
And I am the area coach for KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Okay.
It's been a very nice turnout. You know, everybody's been real receptive. And then when they find out we hiring on the spot, that even makes it even better. Because sometimes you come to these and it's kind of like, oh, I just put in an application, or I may or may not hear. But when they think that when they know that you're hiring on the spot, it kind of makes a difference because now, hey, I got a job, you know, and then they're more apt to tell their friends, hey, go, you know, stop at this table. You know, they do it on the spot. You know, they hiring for various locations. So turnout's been great.
What I'm hearing is there's so much integrity among the vendors. Just what you identified. You're respectful. You're encouraging people to come to be a part of the KFC family. And people are real excited. So what do you think about that?
I think that's great. I mean, we definitely pride ourselves on having very high morals and standards and hiring the best people. So it's great to see that everyone is receptive to that.
Well, I want you to know that my family enjoys KFC. I love coming there. My husband loves, stop at KFC and pick me up my favorite. And so we really love it, and we really appreciate the integrity that you demonstrate with hiring people from our community.
And you probably see me because I've been doing this 35 years, so I found a place that I liked, and H&K is more of a family atmosphere. You know, no matter what we're going through, we always got each other. And so that's why I tell people, I say, well, my motto is if I don't work, I don't eat. So, you know, I found a place to be, and I enjoyed it.
That testimony is outstanding because everyone should feel that way. But there's nothing like having Miss Meal cramps to have you understand that, right?
That's true. We're hungry right now.
Thank you, ladies, so much. Okay, bye-bye. I'm here at America Works of Wisconsin. I am so excited. I'm at a loss for words. Kurt and I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. Everybody looks beautiful. beautiful, hair clean, clothes clean, looking nice, stepping high with a lot of confidence. Beautiful. So I'm wondering, who's responsible for this? Must be you.
You know, actually, it's not me.
Your name?
My name is Senator Lena Taylor. I represent the 4th Senate District. And I, like you, Martha, came in and was greeted by individuals before I got in the door. As we walked in, got individuals signed in, got their name tags. I saw a gentleman come up and have to get a name tag, a new name tag, because he had just got a new suit that he had on. I then walked in. I hadn't been here for 5 minutes, ran into someone who told me they just interviewed and got a job with KFC, somebody else who was interviewing to get a job at a warehouse, someone else who was on her way sitting down, her name was Carol, and she was waiting to get some clothes and get some resume help. There was a line out the door when Carlisle, this is the guy who's responsible with a great team that's worked with him.
Well, we have to find out who is the person that's responsible for this, who has the compassion and the integrity for people in our community. Can you tell me who that is?
That would be none other than Mr. Carlisle Alton, and I'm KESHONDA Willis. I have the pleasure and honor of working with Carlisle. I've learned so much from him. I have a greater perspective on employment and the issues of our community. I had one perspective, but being here and having the benefit of working side by side closely with Carlisle has opened my eyes in ways that I couldn't even imagine. It's an honor, but Carlisle is the visionary. Carlisle is the vision, that's the only word, visionary. He saw it, he knew what he wanted, he put a demand on the staff to make it happen, and we had to step up.
And Martha, one of the things I think would be really important to ask is, when you say step up, can you tell the people how wraparound services are a part of what you do? Because I don't know if individuals know, but of the 5 organizations that help to place people in employment for the state of Wisconsin, it's America Works that has won.
Let's get it right, Senator. America Works of Wisconsin.
America Works of Wisconsin, under the leadership of Carlisle, has basically led the charge on placing individuals out of all of the agencies. And so that has required them to get recognition. So I think you need to talk about what you do. It's not enough just to say that it's him and he's a visionary. Talk about what you saw when you say you learned something different, what he's done and how he's wrapped around the people. That's what I love about what America Works of Wisconsin does.
So to elaborate on that, as Senator Taylor has asked.
And your name?
Again, KESHONDA Willis. So when we look at stepping up, there's a requirement. It starts, first of all, with us and how we present ourselves in the office. There is a standard of what professionalism looks like. There's a standard, even on our clients, our W-2 clients. We don't allow sleepwear. We don't allow bonnets. You come in ready to work, and we are in a position where we have to serve you. So when the opportunity presents itself for a job fair such as this, we can put it together in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, because we've built relationships with employers. We've built relationships with our clients. They trust us. They know that if they show up here, they're going to walk away with a positive experience. And Carlisle has groomed us to understand that not everyone may walk away with the job, but if they have that suit, if they have a new resume, if they have a new blouse to wear for an interview, if they connected with an employer, if they got to shake their hand and have a conversation, we're about creating not just jobs, but experiences that catapult people to the next level of their lives.
My gosh. So, we're looking for that person, and we're looking for that person, and we've had 2 witnesses to the person that has created this environment of integrity. That is Carlisle. He's standing here. We're going to talk to him right now. Hey!
Hi. I am the great and powerful Carlisle. Not at all the case, seriously. This effort, this wonderful event that we have today, it's not the Carlisle Alton Show. This took a village, and there was a lot of people that worked very hard to put this together, KESHONDA being one. Senator Taylor, who is so very, very supportive of everything we do, and she comes here and encourages the part of the reason the clients trust us is because of her coming here and showing her support for these events. This is not a photo op for her. She genuinely cares. She shows it, they feel it, and they respond to it. So, okay, yes, Carlisle out and said, let's have an event, but there's a lot more to this than just me, is my point, okay?
But Carlisle, I have to speak to this because you say that I bring the credibility to America Works. The people know that if it wasn't there, I wouldn't be here. If you weren't getting it done, I wouldn't be here. I can speak on dozens and dozens and dozens of people that have called our Senate office and needed to be connected, and America Works got it done. And that is the piece that I think is really important, because I won't just lend my name because someone is doing it, and I won't lend my presence because someone is doing something. I'm doing it because you're really getting the outcomes, and you've gotten the outcomes in such a way that you have been recognized by the Department of Workforce Development and Children and Families for your work that you've done to help place people in jobs. And so you can be as humble as you want to be, but I'm going to be as straight as the people know that I am to say that it's because you've really gotten it done. And I've had an opportunity to meet the founders of this great organization and to speak with them and to speak about how they met Carlisle and how Carlisle basically did wonderful things on the East Coast. And him coming to Wisconsin and doing this and his commitment to this area. He has gone back to tell the story about people needing wraparound services and wanting to make sure that this company delivered that. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I need to say it out loud. And Martha, we really appreciate you, bringing your show and bringing Matta here so that people can understand what's happening. If you are watching this, you missed the job fair, but you can still connect with America Works and they'll help get the job done.
So now America Works, Carlisle, we need a phone number.
The only number I give out is my own. This is my direct office number, 414-267-2422. Call me. We will do our best by you. That I promise.
And tell them where the office is.
We are in the YWCA building, 1915 North MLK. Come, we will help you get a job.
Well, Carlisle, I want to personally thank you because you have thought of everything for getting a person ready to go, to be prepared for work. Combing of the hair, the suit, the understanding that you are a great individual. He motivates them. All of the people here, I've never walked into a place where I've seen and felt true commitment. True commitment. Everybody I talk to about Carlisle, they're genuine. It's a respectful way that people speak about you, and we really appreciate you in our community because we need it. I mean, you bring entertainers in to talk to men and women that are in transition in life. How many people do that? They don't put all that thought into it.
Martha, he also had the gentleman speak to the young people. And, it's one thing to help the adults, and don't get me wrong, I'm excited about the work that he does in that regard, but to also remember that we can do preventative work and to motivate the young people and help young people connect, I think is outstanding. And so just watching that conversation and listening to the realness and the richness of that conversation, I thought was also huge, including the richness of the conversation around race and culture and unemployment and the issues that exist in this community that he helped to make happen last night in a community conversation, a small one, but for that to happen. So he is not only committed with helping to connect people and wrap services around them, but for our children and frankly for the social ills that exist and how we need to have a different mindset, and that can't happen without communication.
And this whole event reminds me of back in the day when there were job fairs. They would be on radio and they would be broadcast. People would, you would start early in the morning just like you did, 7 o'clock, about 9. It gave people a chance to get up and rush over and take advantage of all of the accommodations that are here. The panel discussion today was outstanding. To have Dr. Blacksmith here, our community psychiatrist, psychotherapist, is outstanding. I mean, you've touched on everything, which is important. So I'm going to say to you with my black card, I'm willing to share my black card with you today because you've done it. You have done an outstanding job, and thank you.
You've reached platinum in our community.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And again, you being here has made a difference. And I'm happy you're here because, again, this is not about me. Okay, this is the community that we're here to serve, and we want to do our best by them.
Thank you so much. Thank the both of you. This resource fair or job fair has been outstanding. They've provided clothes for people. They've provided job application training for people, lunch. They've helped to support people that didn't have a lot of confidence when they came here. But Kurt, as you know, you and I, we've been like overwhelmed by all of the people and all of the things that are going on. So now we have two very prominent community members. One is talk show host Michelle Bryant, and the other is RAMEL. We call him the blacksmith, Dr. Smith. And he's going to tell us his real name, and I'm always getting mixed up. But I just want them to share with us how they feel about being here today. Michelle Bryant.
Well, Martha, I'll just say that it has been absolutely amazing. I came in to do the show this morning. For folks that may not know, we host a little show over on 860 AM, and came in and actually sat in with Sherwin Hughes while he did his forum show live. Had a number of panelists. Dr. RAMEL Smith was one of those folks, Dr. Patricia McMahon, Dr. Andrew Calhoun. I upgraded. I had doctors all around. And the thing that blew us away was the fact that we actually have met people here on site who've become employed today. Walked in the door without employment. One young woman that we actually interviewed on the show said that she not only was she unemployed, she was also homeless. And this young woman, 8-year-old son, 28 years old, not even from the area, has been working her way to get back into the workforce, did not have the clothes. One of the things that we asked her in the interview, you know, do you mind? Because she was dressed so beautifully when she was talking to us. So did you come in looking that way? And that's how we ended up finding out that she, in fact, was homeless. She said no. Someone saw me, pulled me to the side, and said, let's get you dressed for your future. Gave her an outfit. She was hired on the spot. So that's been one of the, I think, what do you think, Dr. Smith, one of the most motivational things about being here today?
Yeah, you know what? What I love about this day is hope. And I think that's what we always talking about having when we talk about what people are going to do, what inspires you to wake up. It's about having a hope, a real chance. And I think what today really represents is that the community cares. And we're talking about not just one part of a need about getting a job, but how do you retain that job? We're talking to young people, getting them in the mindset. We're talking to employers, how to handle all of the people who are going to be coming through the door, because they're going to come with some needs. But how do we maintain them so we not only get them in the door, but we keep them there? And I think when you give people hope, real sincere hope, that's the dynamic that changes our community.
Well, you know, the other thing that I would say that's been amazing is anytime you see 70 employers, from what we understand, 100 employers actually signed up to participate, but because of space concerns, they could only accommodate 70. But that was 70 employers committed to our community saying, just show up, we'll meet you where you are. People that didn't have resumes, come on down, we'll create one for you. This experience has been by far one of the most amazing ones I've seen as a collective. When we talk about 55% black male unemployment in the city of Milwaukee, 29% poverty rate overall, 53206 zip code, all of the different disparate numbers that we frequently hear, and yet the resiliency. We talked about that in our session today, our panel discussion, the resiliency of a community that refuses to stay down. People that are like, if I'm underemployed, I want to find something better. If I'm unemployed, I'm willing to start wherever I am. One of the gentlemen, I'm sure you've probably featured him in your interviews, Martha, is Rico Love, homegrown young man who has gone on to become an immensely successful artist, write songs for folks like Beyonce. And he was walking around in a Waffle House sweatshirt. And one of the things I said to him, I said, Rico, you could have any designer, label, whatever on. What's the deal about the Waffle House sweatshirt? His answer blew me away. Rico said, because I need people to understand, if I had to give it all up today, or if I lost everything today and had to start over, I would have no problem starting, even if that meant a start at Waffle House. Because I got a daughter to feed, I got people that depend on me, and it doesn't matter where I start this game, it's how I finish. So that was like one of those motivational moments, inspirational moments that puts it all in perspective, that we can get bogged down in what something doesn't have. It's not enough money, it's not enough hours, but when you have nothing coming in, when you don't know where your next dollar, your next paycheck, your next meal is going to come from. And the young lady who even interviewed and said she had got the job on the spot today, she got hired at KFC. The thing that I love that she said, and it did not start at minimum wage.
And see, that's key. But if we look at this facility, Manpower talked the talk before they moved here from Glendale. They are talking the talk yet and still servicing people in our community. Where could we find a facility like this with a media room? All of these breakout rooms where we can service 72 vendors, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of young men and women from the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. Dr. Blacksmith, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's awesome because you say not only do you talk the talk, but you walk the walk. So many times we give lip service, but when you see the action, you talk always about the rubber hitting the road. When we see that the service is needed and the service is given, it's there. But the one thing I would like to implore to all of the listeners now, we see this it's just a smorgasbord of love going on, of encouragement, of hope. We have to continue this every day. It can't be a one-day process. Manpower, America Works helps us start it, but we have to say, what can we do on a daily basis to encourage our brothers and sisters that we see may be struggling, may not want to get up for work, may not want to do all of the things they need to do to keep that job. Let's continue to support them. Let's not let this be a one-day event, but just the start of something that we use to trampoline this great service all around our community.
Dr. Blacksmith, I would like to say to the community, there's nothing wrong if you have a mental health challenge, but it is wrong if you don't seek some help. Every program I have seen you on and been with you on, you have always talked about how our community denies themselves the proper treatment. If you have a toothache, you go to a dentist. If you have appendicitis, you go to a surgeon. If you have a baby, you go to a gynecologist or obstetricianist. If you have mental health challenges, they need to come see who?
Yeah, it's just not me, but it's like you need to see somebody in the profession, and what we have to understand is mental health is not always negative. We can do this from a wellness side, from a proactive side, because if we do those small things before it deteriorates, we can be preventative in our maintenance. But if we have gotten to the point where we know we need some extra help or some things have happened in our life in the background that we haven't addressed and touched, we have to find somebody to touch with. It's just like we think about with cancer. If we catch it in stage 1, we can have a life that's prosperous and whatnot, but if we wait to stage 4, it becomes terminal. It's the same thing with our mental health. The earlier we jump on it, the more success that we can have. Don't be embarrassed, don't be ashamed. A lot of us deal with these issues. You know what? I see somebody, and so what I tell people is we all can benefit from it. It shouldn't be negative, it shouldn't be embarrassing. What it is a way to keep yourself improving, keep yourself the best that you can be. And if you do have those issues, you can come see me or somebody like me, and what we're gonna do is not give you advice per se, but show you where those things started and originated, but then have some ideas and suggestions on how to manage it. And then also, what we wanna do is educate the employer, so if you do have those issues, there are some protections, there are some comforts where not only do you keep your job, but but you can have some extra resources on your job to deal with those issues so you can maintain and maximize your performance on your job. So the main thing is, don't be embarrassed about it. We all can benefit from it. We all need to use it. And what we want to do is then let other people know that there's nothing wrong with it. And what we want to do is just like let people know. It's just like if I'm a little overweight and I go see a physical trainer, we applaud them. If I know I have some mental health issues and I'm seeing a mental health coach, then applaud them. Let them know that it's something great. And when you see the rewards, when you see the results, you'll understand that it was worth your time. Give it a chance. Give it a try.
We certainly appreciate the opportunity to speak to two of our community's greatest minds. You hear what I say? Greatest minds. They practice what they preach. Michelle is always reading, finding something new, getting quite excited. So, Michelle, I'll give you the last word on what do you think about this? Has AmericaWorks really lived up to their expectation as it relates to the community?
I think one of the things that I heard in their commercial, that AmericaWorks had planned up to show up and to show out. I think that they have lived up to that. When you talk about the fact that they also are an organization and a company that has received awards for being one of the most proactive, one of the most reliable community partners in terms of finding employment for folks, they have lived up to the mantra of putting people to work. So the Carlisle Otten, the folks at AmericaWorks, all the different partners that have come together, the YWCA, Manpower, obviously, and there was, the city of Milwaukee. You all have done an amazing job. I think that the things that you said and we've heard before, this is a first step. It's not the end-all, be-all. There will be folks that may leave here today that may not receive assistance in terms of an actual job today, but they have been connected to tools and resources. One of the things also that you said, Dr. Smith, that I wanted to make sure that I emphasize, when we talk about mental health, it's not always just in terms of being reactionary, but being proactive. The idea that the way you work to keep your body in shape, you keep your mind in shape, because anybody coming into the workforce today, we all bring stuff with us when we come into these environments. Any opportunity that you have to be as best physically fit, mentally fit, ready to take on the challenges today, it is a new world. People said it this morning. This is not your grandfather's United States Steel manufacturing plant. You got to be agile and ready to go. And so I'm thinking that AmericaWorks has done an amazing job at giving people that first start or that re-entry back into the workforce.
I want to thank our guest, Dr. Blacksmith, the community psychiatrist, psychologist, psychotherapist. Michelle Bryant, communities observer. She observes everything, and her commercial says, and you think I don't have an opinion? So we really appreciate talking with them. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Representative David Bowen and First Vice Chair of the State Democratic Party of Wisconsin. Absolutely honored. What brings you here to this wonderful event, AmericaWorks of Wisconsin?
Well, thank you so much, Martha, for giving me the chance to engage your show. And it is an honor to be here. We see that there are hundreds of people in our community that want to work, that are reaching for the opportunity to provide for their families, and this is an awesome opportunity. I've had the chance to work with AmericaWorks in the past and supporting them here today, doing some more things to benefit the community and those job seekers that we know that exist. There's sometimes this myth that people don't want to work in Milwaukee, and when we did our last job fair with AmericaWorks, we had about 1,200 people show up to North Division High School. And I expect that same demand to follow so we can really prove that for the companies that are here, that the workforce is thirsty for those opportunities.
You know what, Representative Bowen, we certainly appreciate this, and you're absolutely right. People have looked at the community, the urban area, because we have a diverse group of people here, and they've said, oh, those people don't want to work. But this show up and show out today has really proven that people are wrong in our community. I want to thank you so much for stopping and being one of our guests.
Thank you for covering this.
Oh,
I think the last thing is that we're waiting for more companies to to continue to really look at Milwaukee as a hub of economic opportunity, and that we have a great workforce, right, that is trained in a number of different areas, and they are willing to be trained in new industries that are emerging. So we want them to come here and look at our workforce and invest in our community.
Thank you so much. Okay, we have here with us one of the spectacular, greatest community leaders in Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. She's been involved with assisting with creating this environment of hope. And this is called America Works of Wisconsin. This is TOSHA with a P. She has a radio program on WNOV. She's a great lady in our community. She's sharing, she has compassion, and whatever she works with or on, there's a lot of integrity involved, as we see here today. So, TOSHA with a P, how are you?
Hello, the Martha Love.
Here, I want you to hold.
Okay.
Just kind of tell us about your involvement in this wonderful event.
Well, Martha, I'm so excited to be involved with this event. America Works, I met them through you and had to find out a little bit about them and what they do. They're an employment agency, but they're a little bit different, I think, than the normal employment agency. And they talked about wanting to do an event. And we didn't just want to do a normal job fair. And so we sat down and we met and we talked about all the different things that are barriers to employment in our community. And so when we looked at the different things that we knew we didn't want to do, we talked about what it was that we did want to happen. And we thought about all the different partners that we wanted to have at the table and how we could bring all those people together and what it would look like. So the first thing we wanted to do was make sure with messaging that we didn't call it a job fair, because we felt like there's job fairs all the time and people just don't come out for them because they think it's going to be the same thing. You go in, you throw your resume on a table, and you may or may not get a job. But we wanted to do something different. So the first thing we did was we didn't want to call it a job fair. So we came up with this employment symposium. And I can remember when I said that to Carlisle from America Works, he said, well, will people even know what an employment symposium is? And I said, well, they'll know what it is when we create it. So then I said, we need to put a panel together of people from our community to talk about what's the missing link to employment. So when he was like, well, who are we going to get? And I said, we have all the people in our community. So we reached out to Dr. RAMEL Smith and Dr. Pat McManus and Dr. Andrew Calhoun. And then we got Michelle Bryant to come in and moderate it. And then we said, let's do a live radio broadcast, because we have media right here in our community that can help convey this message and let people know about it. And so then the pieces started falling together. Then we said, well, what else is it that people need? Well, they need to learn how to do a resume. Well, let's have that there. Well, what about if they have child support issues? Well, let's bring those people in. Well, what if they have clothing issues? And what if they have driver's license issues? So as we started putting everything together, this is how the symposium came together. Then we thought, well, let's bring in the elected officials, but let's not do it where it's just a photo op. Let's do it where they can really be on the ground talking to the people and encouraging them and connecting them with employers and finding out what it is that they need and want. And that's when everything really started to come together. And I have to tell you, Martha, I've done lots of events. I've put lots of programs together and deals. This is to be one of the most fulfilling and empowering things I've ever done in my career. To see people come in here and leave with a job. To see the employees and the employers connect, to see the transformation of people actually changing their lives, people getting shoes and suits. And I mean, we had to turn employers away. The radio show was phenomenal. just absolutely phenomenal. The people we had on the show, Rico Love, didn't know who he was before, have had an opportunity to spend time with him in the last couple of days. I know you had an opportunity to interview him. Phenomenal young man, right here from Milwaukee. Producer, songwriter, Grammy Award winning, has lent his time to this event, sat here and talked to young men. Common Council President Ashanti Hamilton sponsored some young men to come here from Be the Change. This has been totally unbelievable. I'm just so excited to have been a part of it, to have been able to connect the dots, which is what we call the event, connecting the dots, because that's what I think is often missing in our community. We have everything we need in the community, but sometimes we're just disconnected. So it's not so much that we're disengaged, it's not so much that we're apart, it's just that we're disconnected. And if we can find the people or the things that we need to do to connect us back to one another, if that's community, whatever it is, I think we can start to fix a lot of the things that are wrong in our community. We just got to get connected again. So I'm very excited.
I'm in tears because I can feel what she's talking about. I'm here. Kurt, you're here. We see the excitement and the appreciation from our community. I want to thank America Works of Wisconsin. I want to thank Manpower. I want to thank TOSHA Davis for all of her coordination. I want to thank all of the people that's been a part of this effort. I am absolutely proud to be here. And TOSHA, thank you so much.
Thank you, Martha.
An MCM production.